Hey there, Stampers. Welcome to the 4th day of our daily Facebook Lives, where we're featuring the Hippo Happiness bundle. My name is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Canada. And the last week of the month, I usually go live daily and feature a different bundle. This week, it's been the Hippo Happiness bundle from the annual catalog. And I'm just trying to update my iPad here. There we go. All right. So let me share what I've created so far this week. So I kicked it off on Monday with a scrapbook layout, which I didn't pull out. And then on Tuesday, we created this fun hippo birthday card. So fun. And then yesterday we created this thank you card. And today we're going to create a unicorn card. So by the end of the week you'll have 4 card ideas and a scrapbook layout idea featuring this sweet bundle. Okay, so let's go ahead and actually, before we get started, I want to share a product, a brand new product that I'm going to use today. This is something that's going to be available in the next annual catalog, which starts on May 4th. And it's called the Basic Borders dies. So there are these great dies that you can use for borders. If you're a scrapbooker, I think these are going to be fabulous, but they're great for cards as well. So I'm going to use the cloud image today, or the cloud die today. Tomorrow I'm going to use a different one. So you'll see some of those. You can look forward to that. Now, if you are in Canada and you don't already have a demonstrator and would like an annual catalog mailed to you, just send me a private message and I'm happy to pop one in the mail for you. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We are going to start, I think, with our stamping. Let me slide this aside here. Good morning, Christine. Good morning, Kim. Okay, now I am limited in my ink pads. I realized when I was working with this collection, I realized as I was creating, I didn't bring a ton of Brights ink pads. I didn't bring a ton of Bright cardstock. I think I have Bermuda Bay. I have Daffodil Delight, and maybe Pacific Point. I don't have a ton of Brights that I brought with me. So I've been pretty limited in my colors. So I'm using Polished Pink today, which is one of our upcoming new in colors, because it was the closest pink that I had to work with. And we are going to stamp a pink unicorn. Good morning, Shauna. Good morning, Kim. Okay, so I'm going to pull in my Stampin' Pierce mat and a scrap piece of paper, and we are going to stamp 2 unicorns. Now, if you haven't watched the previous videos, I do suggest that you use the smaller, so this is a 2-step stamp. You can see that one image is smaller than the other. So usually the smaller image is going to be the darker image. So I'm going to ink the smaller piece up with Polished Pink and not stamp off. And then I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of paper and I'm going to use the Polished Pink again. Good morning, Joy. So this is quite a fun new in color. It's bright. And sorry, I just wanted to make sure I got that lined up. Bright and cheerful, and it's a really pretty pink. And it is quite different from Melon Mambo. I do happen to have my Melon Mambo Stampin' Spot here, and I stamped it with Melon Mambo first, but my Melon Mambo, I don't know, it's just, it almost looked, I don't know, it didn't look like a Melon Mambo. It wasn't the color pink that I was looking for. This is much closer to what I'm looking for. So I was happy that I had this on hand. Okay, so we've done that. Now we've got to add the face. actually let's do the horn first. So I'm going to use some daffodil. Let's give this a clean. I'm going to need that block. Okay, so I'm going to use some daffodil and I'm going to stamp this in here. Now, if you watched Monday's video, I did do the unicorn and I shared a tip that I'll share with you again today. So I stamped 2 extra horns and you'll see why I do that in a minute. We'll give this a clean because now we need to add the face. And we're going to do that using Memento. And make sure I get this going the right way. Okay, the easiest way to line this up is to use the nostrils on the horse. And leaning over here, there's a fair bit of shadow, so let's hope that this works okay. There we go. And look how cute. Love it. All right. Let's try this again. All right, so now we've got our unicorn done. And when I pull in the die, you'll see that the die cuts out the unicorn. So you could use it as a horse, okay? It doesn't have to be a unicorn, and you'll get this, okay? Now, it does cut off the horn, so that's why I stamped the extra horn on there, and I cut that out. There is a die for that as well. I find it easier to just fussy cut it, but there is a die if you don't like fussy cutting. And the reason why I stamped it, knowing that it would get cut off, is because, let me add a little bit of adhesive here, and I'm going to pop this in behind, because then the horn looks seamless. Okay, so if I had not stamped that horn, this little bit right here, this little white border, it would be white in there. So the horn would be, it would almost look like it was floating. So that's why I stamped it there, so then it looks like it's actually attached to the unicorn. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've die cut these already. So let me pull out my other one so that I can attach the horn. Oh, and you know what? I forgot to do my envelope. I always like to do my envelope when I have my stamps out. Okay, so we've got our 2 unicorns. Now, what I've gone ahead and done is I've taken this cloud die from the Basic Borders dies. So I've taken this, and notice they all have stitching. So I've taken that and I've cut it along the bottom of a, what size is this? I think it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, and I'm going to use this as a stencil. So I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to use Pool Party and my blending brush. And I'm just going to add, I'm going to start actually on this piece. And let's bring in a scrap piece of paper here. Okay, so I'm going to start on here and just lightly go over the top to get a little bit of a cloud look. Be careful not to move that. I'm going to re-ink this, do a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm going to slide it down, and look how pretty that looks. Isn't that pretty? So now I'm going to slide it down. I'm going to move it over. So I try not to get like a consistent cloud. I don't want my clouds to look perfectly symmetrical or in a row. So now I'm going to start about here and add just a small section. And then I'll move that away, and then maybe we'll do some more here. So don't really need to think about it, just do it. And it's so easy to do, and it really looks good. Okay, and then maybe just a little bit over here. I'm only actually going to use a portion of this, but I might as well do the whole thing so that I can cut out more if I want to do more. You'll see what I do with this in a minute here. Okay, and then let's just do a little bit down here. Thanks for sharing, Joy. So this is another way that you can use these dies. So yeah, you can use them to create clouds, die cut clouds as a border, but you can also use them as stencils. I think it'd be really fun to create a stencil pattern using the rickrack one or the zigzag one. So I'm looking forward to playing around with that a little bit more. Okay, there we go. And we've got this beautiful sky background. All right, so we're gonna set that aside because this is something you can use over and over and over. And we are going to bring in these fabulous label shapes, and we're going to use this shape here, so the second largest, and we're gonna cut a shape out of there. So I'm gonna bring in my die cut machine. Isn't that fun, Kim? Wouldn't it be gorgeous on a scrapbook page, on the background of a scrapbook page? You can buy patterned paper that has clouds all over it, but it's even better when you can make your own. So you'll definitely want to add the basic border dies to your order when you can order from the new catalog. All right, so I'm just lining that up, and we'll run this through. Okay, we'll get this out of the way. So now I've got another one that I can cut that out and create another card if I want. I've got 2 extra unicorns stamped there, so I could easily recreate another one. Okay, so now I've got several pieces here. Let me explain what I've got. I have a pool party card base, just a standard size card base. So 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I've got a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece that's going to be for the inside. And then I've got a pool party piece of cardstock that measures 3 3/4 by 5. And I've gone ahead and I've cut out this largest shape. I cut out a little window. My intent initially was to create a shaker pocket. Or a shaker card, and then I realized, well, I don't have window sheets, I don't have my foam adhesive strips. I didn't have what I needed to create it, so this was where I went with this idea. And then I have a piece of white to frame it off, just a thin little 1/16 inch border. This piece measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this up onto this with dimensionals. Kim says she's got to start saving her money. Yeah, it's a pretty good catalog. I think sometimes some of these products can be overlooked. Like these particular dies are not part of a bundle. They're just available. I don't think they are anyways. They're just separate. And sometimes, you know, products that are not part of a big collection or a suite or a bundle, they often get overlooked. So there's a couple die sets in the catalog that just kind of are standalone dies. There's another one that's tags that I love. So I'm really looking forward to playing with these types of items a little bit more, because I think they can add they can complement our other products that we have and projects that we make. They're a great addition. Okay, so that's going to go in the center here. And then I brought back some of that great rainbow glimmer paper. This is going to go right in here, just like that. So I use that same die. Let's just see how it fits. It should fit in here one way better than the other. Okay, I think that's the way. So this is going to go in flat. Did you order this bundle, Denise? This would be great for you as a kindergarten teacher. You could definitely make some sweet cards, although you're virtual, but you could make some sweet cards to send out to the kids. Or even, wouldn't it be fun to do a little end of the year, send them a little package using this adorable set? Oh, and I realized I forgot something. Okay. Okay, we're gonna set this down for a second because I want to stamp my greeting on here. Let's see, we need a block. I'm going to use this greeting that says, "When in doubt, be a unicorn." I love this greeting. And I'm going to stamp that on this label shape. So this label shape was cut again from one of the label shapes that comes in the die. So it's the smallest one here, this guy here. So I'm going to stamp that across. And oh, that's so sweet. Okay, so I wanted to share in this die set, there are also these two pieces here. So these label shapes, what you can do is you can use these dies to create little notches on the end of the label shape so that you can feed ribbon through. And I would have liked to do that on this, but this one isn't quite large enough. And then if I went with the larger size, it's just a bit too large. So that's what those pieces are for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, this should have been done around the pool party layer, but because I've stuck that down to my white already, I'm going to go about, let's see, maybe 3/4 of an inch-ish from the bottom. Let's hope that this is even. Hopefully that's okay. And I'm just going to notch it. I shared this on one of the previous projects this week. I think it was on Tuesdays, the Hippos card. This is going to get wrapped around. Creating the notches just allows you to your twine to just kind of nest in there and not move around, especially if you're going to pop it into an envelope. Okay, so then I'm going to tie this kind of off to the side. And I've got about 20 inches, I think, of twine here. Just wrapped it around twice. And, okay, well, it's not perfectly straight, but it's pretty close. Okay, and then this is going to get stuck on here. So I had already added adhesive. Isn't that pretty, just like that? Man, I love that rainbow glimmer paper. Okay, and then this is going to get popped up using dimensionals right on top of our twine here. And actually, because we've got the bulk of the twine, I'm going to use the edges of my dimensionals and go one above and one below. And my twine should sit nestled right in between. This is going to need to move over a little bit. All right. So has anybody else ordered this bundle since? I've had a couple customers order it, because you guys know that if you order using my host code, you'll get all the pre-cut supplies to make these cards that I'm making this week. All right, there we go. Okay, and then this piece, our little cloud piece, is going to go on using dimensionals right in the center of the glimmer paper. So we're just going to have like a little bit of a border of the glimmer paper showing. That's going to go in there. Just like that. And our unicorn's going to go on. Just like that. Add some adhesive to that. And there's the front of the card. And then the inside, this guy's going to go on. And I need to find the right sentiment, because this is going to be, it's going to be a birthday card for a friend. And I need to find the right sentiment from my limited collection right now. If I don't have one, then I'm going to find something that maybe I can stamp and add just using an alphabet set. So this guy's going to go somewhere in here, but I want to stamp a sentiment first. So maybe I will, because this is going to be the one that I give away. So maybe I'll just add it to the bottom, because I will do a draw next week for anybody, for all of these cards, and to get entered in to win them. So I'll draw for a winner for each day. And all you have to do is basically just participate in the conversation, whether it's live or the replay, or if you comment on YouTube, that works too, once I upload them. And if you share, you get 5 entries. So it's just a way that I can kind of share my love of paper crafting, and I create so many projects, I would never be able to go through all the cards that I make. So I'm happy to pass them along to somebody who can put them to use. All right, so there is today's card, and I didn't stamp my envelope when I had the stamp out, but here's what I did on the other envelope for my sample. So that was today's card. Again, let's bring in the other 2 projects so you can see them. And then we had the thank you card, and we had our little hippo card. Look how sweet these are. Love them. Yeah, Michelle, we created this one, so we did the cloud background, and we added some glimmer paper to bring in some of that shine. Such a fun little card. You'll have to go back and watch the replay. All right, so thanks so much for watching. I will be back tomorrow with another project featuring this bundle. All right, so we'll see you then. Have a fabulous day. Bye, guys.